instead. So, again, that you protect our very good that maybe you can flag and say, so, Kenya is started trying to implement that with frame issue. Now, started saying people will be like, Mata, Ukraine, Bahaya Secretary. Young Gustav, the country, Bahaya Secretary, but I had a part. Kenya, I think I have said this. I think the materials of the equipment working, baseline using Tawara, yes, they that. And then, but I know for it. Okay, there are others, Madagascar, and the foreign economies are there. Good, young positive about charge. And Sally, sharing efficiency level matters. The solid is a customer now, result. I don't know. In the just name, so taking sustainability issue. Sustainability issue, I think life cycle assessment, life cycle posting, social life cycle assessment line, inside the source code. When we are context, you need to yes or right. Communication partner, communication is communication like the risk advocacy direct around. Nonetheless, is a right line, part which I'm like for the start. Other was not just yes, ma'am. Our construction goes, need no one is in the other. Inside that should technical. Like if people you don't like even see you show it like space technical markets learning about
Ilannya besi satu, no?
I come on this conference in order to get some additional results about safety compatibility. The Young Construction Management Institute (CMI) has a project which is working on safety compatibility. Which is on progress. And in addition to that, Robert has given an introduction about what they practice. But in our context, in our country, we need to know the technology, which type of printer is best. As Dr. Robert explains, they use robotic arm printers for 3D concrete printing. But in terms of cost, in terms of technology, which is best for our country, I need such type of further concepts from this. But I don't get it as I expected. That is my feedback. In addition to that, 3D concrete printing uses mainly concrete. Three ingredients. The first one is cement as a binder. Second one, finally, which is less than 1 millimeter in size. Then water. Then super plasticizers. So, as a country, if we need this technology, we need to go in details about the material composition which is available in our country for cement, for final grids. So, what I want to say there is it's better to collaborate with other companies, as ECWC, you are a good starting about this 3D concrete printing. But it's necessary to collaborate with Amanuel, with our country. They work for our country development. So we need to give more focus for this, we need to do more for this project. We need to support, we have to support researchers. First, if we do not have, we cannot adapt the technology. If technologies are not coming, we do not talk about this. So what I want to generalize is what I want to say is better to have in-depth about the materials and the technology. Rather than to sum up and go forward. Thank you for right.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, so I would like to thank both of you for the conversation. You have question for the papayas. Really, the issue of ethics is critical, especially for Africa, because you all know that the issue is critical. The problem is so big, probably, especially in the infrastructures, things like us driving is done from penny from the whole project. There are lots of jobs on this one. There will be a bridge over there. So, you know all these things. So this is critical. I know the government of African countries, lots of things are going on preventing corruption. But still, when you come to ethics and infrastructure, it should be treated as a separate subject, not linked with other ethical issues. In my view, project managers would perceive ethics as something that hampers their speed of work. You see, whenever they would like to do it without any interruption. And they perceive these ethical things as something that hampers their speed. And whenever project management is given as force, there is no anything related to ethics. So my question to you is, what should be done so that project managers, project staffs working on projects would know about this, so that we avoid problems we will have currently. Moreover, related to your representation of colors ethics, it ranges between white and black. I'm not related of color here, but what I understand is this something we have to decide subjectively, or is there a clear cut to differentiate something is violated, something is unethical? The first person who raised the question has raised something related to this. So where is the line of going from planning related from actually art and ethical, or is there a huge demarcation? That's what I would like to ask. Yes. The second question is for Dr. Masri. You have suggested to use technologies for constructions. That's nice. You all understand that technologies will benefit construction projects. But my question is there a policy or any sort of document that recommends the use of the technology, or that forces to use these technologies? Nowadays, probably using these technologies is good in terms of making our project efficient and effective. That's how about making it a standard, like designing construction projects with BIM is mandatory in our case.
using the IoTs, and otherwise we enforce them, and otherwise we will have some policies and standards may not be that. It will be optional, and we will not go into it. So how are you prepared in terms of this? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's enough. To reflect on the second question, let me raise pointers. We have done a feasibility study to bring this 3D concrete building technology. So we're going to use our own raw material from here. We're not bringing the raw material from abroad. So we have done the feasibility study. There is also the committee from different disciplines. So we are not like interested in just bring the technology. We have done a lot of steps just to make it clear. Okay?
And who really the cost?
The first one that how we can fund.
I think the question, how to quantify ethics, is the same as what my friend Desires just asked. How do you know what I'm going to do is ethical or not? Is that the question? How do you measure?
Definitely. Is it subjective or something we can make a line?
I think it all goes with you, an individual's perspective. That's why the foundation is ethics, about the good values. Remember, the test of what was ethical or not ethical is measured when the action goes public. When what was done secretly or with a smaller size of people, when it blows out, do you still stand in the same position confidently or not? I think that should be the standard measure of whether this was right or wrong. I understand the context that you are trying to bring all this in. Is because you find that the model of the education system we receive detach us from the cultural values that we grow with. To the extent that sometimes we condone things because they are done by a certain, it's not right, but we agree to live with it. And in the construction industry, it's very common. In the academia today, it's very common. Let me give you an example. In most universities, compliances today are not very well adhered with. The so-called lecturers are busy working with ECC and the other companies. You are given a certain number of hours to attend. You don't attend because in the semester, you are supposed to cover the syllabus. You come to the students, you apologize, you tell them that you are sorry, you are very busy, you know, you are in a very noble profession, that you are involved in many things. The students accept it and take it as if it is a norm. That's why I'm telling you that the system is the big problem. we don't follow what has been put in. Sometimes even logistics are not there. You are supposed to be in a lab, but logistic wise, materials are not there. They tick the box and say you covered when you did not. And the students say, okay, you go in the field. So basically, the standard of measure should start with our values to distinguish what is right and what is bad. Now, the law is a guidance, but the culture, there are many things that our values are not even written somewhere. But at least in the test of whether something and people would run, would the public there are people who see like this bottle of water. There are people who see more emptiness than fullness. And there are people who see more fullness than emptiness. So it is up to your mindset to be tuned in the right direction. My advice is you have to be positive mind. The positive mind see positives, even when it is minimal. Positive mind see right than dark. Positive mind see improvement than impossibilities. So I'm happy that from the 3 lectures we had, one of the key points that connects the ethics and the technology and the environment is the mindset. It depends on what you want to see. Because if you want to see emptiness, it is there. You are not wrong. If you want to see the fullness, it is also there. It all depends on your mindset. So I think the measure should go with ourselves first. I sometimes give an example of them. It is always easy to point a finger to anyone. But when we start with us, ourselves, or yourself, and then you will always see that 3 fingers are pointing at you before the finger that you are pointing at. I think that is the mindset we all need to see, and again, to admit that there is a lot that we need to know, whether you are a PhD holder or a graduate. Still, in the space of knowledge, you just have a minute. So be curious. And your curiosity should be directed by ethics through the mindset. What do you want to see? Because outside, bad and good things are there. It depends on what you think is sustainable for you. It depends on what you think aligns with your goal. Remember, all of us, you should have your personal goal, family goal, national goal, continental goal, and global goal. But if there are gaps, you can't talk of the global when yourself are not there, not well aligned, when your family is not aligned. So let's call spade a spade and deal with issues right from the values from our mothers and fathers, villages, cities, countries, and then we see on top of the continent, on top of the globe. This is how I feel I should show you. What is right and what is not right, just think. If this goes public, will I still be confident and happy about it? If not, it is not possible. That's the standard deviation that I can share with you.
Thank you.
Okay, Samar, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think 3 or 4 questions is forward for me. So I try to give my insight, but to get full answer, you have to read. My objective is to provoke you rather than to talk everything. According to my slide, I'm just point out lifetime learner, be lifetime learner. Be lifetime learner, you have to at least read 1 hour per day. So at the end of the day, you are get the answer. Still, there are things that I will not get answer. Some aspects are confusing. But to the specific, the first question is about the technology. Is that because of the trend that as a country or as a individual or as an organization that you are import the technology? I think this one is the first question. For this, we don't have a reason to import or to innovate the technology. As most scientists said, innovation is, no, problem is the mother of innovation. Do you agree?
Yes, yes.
Do you agree? So, can you raise your hand that agree with this statement? Okay, few of you. For what reason that you are trying to innovate? Find the answer. At least 2 mega trends that are forcing our construction industry to capacitate our service with technology. The first one is the market and the market demand. According to the statistics of World Bank, 200 million people are added to urban globe. Here in Ethiopia also, although the statistics is not declared recently, migration to urban centers is very high, and the natural population growth of urban centers is very high, even to the African standard. Ethiopia is the least urbanized country, but with high rate of urbanization. As an engineer, you have to understand what we mean by this. As Addis Ababa has got new residents per year, housing, schooling, health centers, transportation, and so
character of our industry is low productivity level. You engineers, you know, the majority of projects are just out of their schedule because of low productivity. So we need to rise our productivity. To rise our productivity, one tool or one method is innovation and technology. That's why. The other is, as I mentioned, different big and complex construction projects are coming the market. So business as usual in construction industry in Ethiopia is not responding to this new demand. That's why we are forced to bring technology to our industry. The other is the sustainability question. I think the question, if I'm clearly capture the question, how to measure or how to quantify the sustainability in construction industry. I think the question is that. Am I right? Life cycle. Okay, life cycle. Sustainability in the context of life cycle. The term sustainability itself is focusing on two major things. The first one is just feeling the interest of this generation. And the second one is this feeling or fulfilling the current generation must not compromise the future interest of the future interest generation. So we have, this is in its nature, it's contradicting because the world is the world of scarcity, and the concept is fulfilling the current demand as well as protecting the future generation. So there is a contradicting idea. By nature, the society or the human being is egoistic. So we have to tackle these contradicting ideas with innovative ideas. For example, if you take our industry, we are exploiting, parasites here and there. If you are experienced to travel over Addis with airplane, you can see how much the Addis surrounding is fastly and seriously deteriorated here and there. We are exploring different sites to search different natural resources from stone with the earth. So utilizing natural resources for the sake of this generation is okay. But when you utilize this resource, you have to compensate what you utilize for the next generation. This is what we have to be reminded in our sector. The other is recycling the waste. As you know, construction sites or construction projects are most waste generators. So we have to think over. Our industry is full of waste. For example, on the condominium project, with very serious control, the rebar utilization is just the MH engineering is seriously controlled and innovate to reach 6% of rebar projects in West. This is one aspect. In the other, what we have been supervised almost in number, we have 758 projects have been supervised by our authority. The majorities rebar utilization or the waste generated in these projects are more than 36% in average. Look the difference between 6 and 36. The big. In the same industry, in the same culture, in the same technology, the gap is huge. This is what you have to think over. And the other is recycling that 6% and or 36% is another issue. Unfortunately, in Ethiopia, we reuse as a scrap for rebar factories. But in the other case, in the case of concrete product wastes and carton waste, we simply dump wherever we like, which is compromising the future generation. In the life cycle, sustainability is considered if substandard structure is constructed, be it is because of the design or because of the design implementation, whatever, you are compromising the sustainability. This is what I have for the time being. If you need further reading, I can give you material, soft copy. I have a question regarding sustainability. Consider a triangle. Put environment on the top. Economy to the right, and ability. For example, if you take the right one, economy utilize environmental resource. When you go to the horizontal of the bottom of the triangle, economy is reacting with the society. The society is in need of economic well-being, whereas economy, there is because of the resources scarce, the economy is scarce, so it contradicts. Take again the right, the interaction of the right factor with the environment. The society is in need of environmental resource, whereas the environmental protection scientists are just promoting the conservation. In the society, if you take the Entoto's mothers, they cut the trees and sell for the firewood. Where the environmentalists complain that activity. At the same time, the firewood carrier woman is in demand of having a meal. They are contradicting. So, for your further reading, how as an engineer you can compromise or make balance between these three compromising or contradicting factors. This is assignment for you. For your question, I just said before. The other is claim associated with technology. As you know, construction projects are carried as a project which is migrant and which is unique by itself, as we are unique by ourselves. So this unique project is carried out by the agreement. When this agreement, the technological demand and the working procedure or the working method is defined according to the design and the interest of the client. If claim is arising due to the technology effect, so it's easy to manage the claim. As Ethiopian, we will have two systems. The first one is very usual, and the second one is recently introduced. That is alternative dispute resolution system, which is introduced in the industry. So we can manage this claim with these two systems, legal systems, but the cases are managed or judged based on the agreement. If I am clear, this is what I.
Thank you. Please give a round of applause for both of those. Now it's time to go to the lunch, but before that, let's have a group with pictures. Please come. Jack. No. Put down.